to that pull from the ground, everybody's like, I gotta do knee extensions.
Okay, it's recording.
All right. Should I like? No, we'll do that later. Okay, so we're gonna start off with rolling out your glutes, your hamstrings, your quads, and you can spend however long you want to, but I don't know, maybe a minute or two between each different area. This roller is so good.
Nice.
Gotta get it from Costco. $12.
Hey, everybody doesn't like my spiky one at the gym though.
Except for me, I'm the only one who uses it.
I use it all the time. We need that real annoying music in monotone person drums. Wrong one. Yes. So is this all stuff that you just like came up with, or like you just like kind of pick and or like learn things and then just kind of put it together?
Well, I've watched, like, before I started writing and stuff, I used to watch a lot of videos on, like, figuring what to do. But now I just kind of, whatever I think, I put on there. So, the other day, I took my little, it's not a lacrosse ball, it's it pretty much is, but it has a whole bunch of spikes on it. And I did it on my calf, and, like, I was doing the whole twisty thing. That hurt.
Yeah.
There was one video I watched of Kelly Starrett doing some mobilization like with a lacrosse ball right here, and he was like had his shin down on the ball, and all of his weight was on there, and he's just like, yeah man, just like grind it out, all this stuff like that. And I'm thinking like, ooh, no, it's Michael.
So we're gonna do more upper body this next week because my legs are gonna fall off.
Yes, it's getting right now. Did you watch that Tiger King thing?
No, everyone keeps
You
talking
need to
about
watch
it.
it.
You gotta watch
I'm stuck on Love is Blind.
it. Yeah, everyone watches that. But the Tiger King is
It's like
so strange.
it's like the craziest like hillbilly like backstabbing story that you'll ever encounter in your entire life.
Keep on seeing like memes that compare the lady. I guess, is there a woman in that?
That
Yeah.
bitch Carol Baskin.
Okay, so I guess they like compare her and Jessica from Love is Blind.
Oh.
Or like Jessica used to be the most hated lady on Netflix, but now that other girl from Netflix. Dude, Jessica,
She's the one that her voice changes.
her voice changes?
Yeah, right? Like, what? She was the one talking to she's like talking to the guy that's 10 years younger, right?
Yeah, and she won't shut up about her age.
Yeah. And then, yeah, but when they were in the little like pods, her voice was like super high, and then all of a sudden, then it's like not. And,
I
like,
feel like when she gets excited, her
Yeah.
voice gets super high pitched. But yeah, this whole entire time, every single time she comes, like, gets into a frame or whatever, she always goes, "Yeah, and I'm 34 years old, and he's 24 years old." I'm like, we get it.
we know.
I understand. In your last relationship, he was 10 years older than you. She's something.
Shit, you guys watch it, tell you what.
Hey, it's Krista's fault, all right?
Yeah.
She hyped it up. I have to watch
When you
it.
get stuck.
Yeah. I was so shocked that what happened with what's his name? Diamond and Carl or Carlton or whatever.
Oh, the guy that was like bisexual. Yeah.
But he like flipped out on her. She wasn't. I didn't think she did anything wrong. Like she was just wanting to talk to him.
But they were just kind of gone. Like I don't know.
Like the second that they got, it was weird. Yeah. I'm only on like episode 4 or 5, and so much has happened.
Yeah.
So what is it, a reality show?
Yeah. Where they like go into these blind pods and then they do their dates like blind, and then they like get engaged.
They literally within 5 days. Oh no.
Yeah,
was
it's
it
like
3 days or something?
Yeah,
they're like, I'm so in love with you.
Yeah.
Hold on. Are you really?
They're like crying. Like,
Yeah.
They're like, oh.
I did get nervous for them when they were about to do like the meeting. It's like, Did you imagine how like crappy you would feel if they were like, no, I don't want to marry you because the way you look?
Yeah. I'm surprised that didn't happen, but I guess they're all like good looking.
Yeah. Okay, once you finish rolling out, we're going to start a little warm up. We're going to do 10 air squats, 10 alternating lunges, and 10 Russian baby makers.
Oh man, I have to jack
That's fine. Okay. So go ahead and start your 10 air squats. You don't have to do them fast. Just do them however you want. I love this mat. It's so squishy.
It's really soft.
All right, and once you finish, you're gonna do 10 alternating lunges.
He's like that street.
Mikey.
I am so sore. It is ridiculous.
Hey, no, where you going? Oh my god, I love the shoes.
All right. Then when you finish your 10 alternating lunges, we're gonna do 10 Russian baby makers. If you don't remember what that is, just get into a shoulder width, like a squat stance. Put your fingers under your toes, and then you're just gonna let your hips fall through. So fingers under the toes, you're gonna let your hips fall through. And then lock out your knees when you come back up so you get a stretch in your hamstrings too. So you should feel it in your groin, your hips, and your hamstrings. All right, once you finish that, we're going to go into our first section of our mobility, which is a calf stretch. And you're going to need a wall, a rig if you have one, or a corner.
Just set it down and we'll grab it.
All right. So what you want to do, should I move it here?
I can move it.
Can I see my foot? I don't know
Yeah.
if I should have worn different socks. I like gonna blend in.
It's okay.
Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna get your heel as close as you can to the rig, And then you're just gonna pull yourself up until you feel a stretch in your calf. You can kind of feel it in your hamstring too. You're gonna hold that for about a minute, whatever feels comfortable for you. And you're going.
You doing? Oh.
And when you're about halfway through, we're gonna kind of bend our knee. So you're gonna flip and do it on the other side. Again, getting your heel as close as you can and walking out your leg. You're gonna hold that for about a minute, but halfway through, we're gonna bend our knee again. You can kind of bounce around this position too. Right? Okay. Next, we're going to go into our hamstrings. So for this first piece, we're going to do a hamstring rack stretch. Again, you can use a wall, like the corner of your wall. So what you're going to do is you're going to get on the ground. You're going to bring your leg up. Your butt can be touching the wall or the rack. If it can, if your butt starts to lift up, the closer you get, you can scoot your butt out a little bit. But for me, I can get my butt touching. Just make sure your lower back and your butt, your other side is touching the ground at all times. And you're just gonna hold here for a minute or two. You can also drive your heel into the rig or the wall, and that helps with your hamstring. Oh yeah, that's smart too. You can't see Max, but he has a dog leash or a towel, yeah, or even a resistance band. And he's putting the loop on his foot. And then he's basically just doing that same thing. If you want this, you can do it.
No, you're good.
So really pull on your dog leash if you have one, or even a belt, something that you can lift your foot onto. Pull down so you get a good stretch in your hamstrings. Once again, you can hold that for 1 to 2 minutes. I'm gonna hold it for 2 because I am very sore. And try to get an arch out of your back if there is one. Keep your back flat to the ground and keep your hips dripping into the ground too. And try to keep your knee locked out. You don't want to bend it.
You're good for a tiger. That one's tight.
All right. And we're gonna switch off to the other leg. Yeah, I'm gonna do it for 2 minutes, but you can totally do it for 1 or 1.5, whatever feels good to you.
I'm sorry.
I'm like trying not to make faces. Max, are you gonna paint the ceiling too?
Possibly.
Why do you do red and black?
No. Just do gray.
Oh yeah,
Like a light gray.
yeah,
Anything dark's gonna make it feel so small.
that's true. That's smart. All right, slowly come out of that. For this next one, I prefer you guys use a rack or a wall because it's going to be easier than using the leash or the belt, whatever you have. So these ones, you're just going to pivot your leg. You're gonna get in that same position on the wall or the rig, whatever you have. Make sure you're on the corner so you can have this leg laying flat next to it. So what you're gonna do is you're literally just going to pivot your leg back and forth. And we're gonna do that for 1 minute to 2 minutes, depending on whatever you guys are wanting. I'm going to do it for 2 minutes.
Yes, they could use a doily too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can use a door frame too to do this.
From silver.
Did you just say from what? Max?
No,
You're not sore?
no. They're solid rock.
Those lunges didn't make you sore at all.
Yeah, he was complaining about them.
Oh yeah, but that was like what 3 days ago.
Well, I did
Well, that's
right.
not, hey, that's not happens when you deviate from programming.
What did you do?
Huh?
He did them on Thursday or whenever.
No, I had to make them. I did them on Wednesday. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I did them on Wednesday, the day they were programmed, but I had to make it up Tuesday. So I did the lunges, and then I did that 1 minute max effort, like the dumbbell stuff.
Oh, the thing that Jessica did, her program?
Yes.
The one that the fight compounded.
Yeah. I did that one right after my lunges.
You ran after the lunges?
Uh-huh. I got strong legs. I do.
I was practicing those double unders. I had so many whip marks on my legs.
Oh, and then your skin pigment is probably like, they show up like crazy.
I got smart when I was like over it and I put on my knee sleeves, but I put them like, I rolled them down. And then that helped. I should have done that in the very beginning. All right, and then we're going to flip sides. Again, try to get as close as you can to the door frame or the wall or your rig, but just make sure that you don't have an arch in your back. So your back should be flat, your hips should be driven into the ground. That'll help with the stretch.
You were fine.
No.
Oh, God damn. Your breath. Oh,
All right. Then we're still gonna need the wall. For this next one, you're gonna get in that same position. And then what you're gonna do is you're going to slide your heel down and then point your toe towards you. And you're going to do that for a minute or 2 minutes. You're gonna feel this a lot in your calf, kind of in your hamstring, but this one is more for your calf. So you're gonna do it for a minute to 2 minutes. I'm going to do it for a minute.
Jesus.
Remember, keep your hips driven into the ground, keep your back flat to the ground.
Hey,
Not for you.
Did those dogs ever come back?
I don't know. We went inside.
they went.
What about one?
All right, And then I'm going to switch to the other side to do my other leg.
So you can't do anything else. Carol Baskin. That's what we should put on our new shirts.
So is it a movie or a show?
It's a documentary.
Show, yeah. It's like a series.
It's like real deal like life, so.
Oh, it's not fake. It's
No.
a whole. Oh.
No, this is as real as it gets. It's amazing.
They're like these tiger lords, or they think they're like tiger lords, but they're just these like alien people that own tigers.
No, they're
So I don't know, they're like extreme.
no, that's what Okies are.
But they, I don't know.
That's like when people try to like compare Oklahoma to
Come
Texas,
back.
and we're like, nope, no.
And they're all felons.
All right. Next, we are going to go into a hamstring stretch. This is my favorite one. You're literally just going to stand in a shoulder width position. Then you're going to drive your butt back, lock out your legs, try to keep your back as flat as you can. And you're just going to kind of hang out here for a minute to 2 minutes, whatever you want. You can kind of bounce around in this just as long as your back is staying flat and you're trying to push your hips back. But keep your balance. I'm going to do it for a minute.
Hey, like me.
Could have used him as a weight.
So what's up, lady? He looks like Joe's exotic story. He was a dog. Bitch, Carol Baskin.
So strange.
Who started the coronavirus? It's that bitch Carol Baskin.
All right. I'm gonna come out of that. Next, we're going to do our glutes and our hips. We're going to do a couch stretch. You can do it on a wall. You can do it without anything. What we're gonna do is you're gonna get on the ground. You're going to grab your other foot. Try to bring it as close to your butt. Try to bring your heel as close to your butt as you can and keep a tall posture. You're gonna hold this for a minute to 2 minutes. I'm going to hold it for a minute. You're gonna do both sides, of course.
Oh,
Do you feel like Ryan right now?
Do I feel like running?
Mm-hmm.
Ryan.
Oh, yeah. I could probably grab my foot, honestly.
You guys need to watch him the next time he tries to do it. It is so funny.
No, that guy, he's stiff. Him and Jake.
And then,
Yeah, let's see.
There you go.
I got some mobility. What?
no, you just, not just allowing you to take it right.
Jake's been working on a lot of mobility though.
He doesn't though. He just stretches.
I thought he started doing it at home. He does it in the beginning.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
I always laugh because like he stretches for like an hour before he works out, and I'm always just like, it hasn't gotten any better, dude.
Okay, when you're gonna switch sides.
Oh, this one.
What?
This week. The water is, it's everything dirty. Like, I don't think you would just go there.
What if I aim it that way?
Like, just
All right. Next, we're going to go into a butterfly hold. What that is, you're going to sit like this, get the bottoms of your feet touching, and then you're going to kind of drive your elbows into them and grab your feet and try to push down and like fold into it. Your knees don't have to touch the ground. Just push until you feel a stretch in here in your groin. You're gonna hold that for 1 minute to 2 minutes. I'm gonna do it for 2 minutes. The people who can touch their knees to the ground while doing this, that blows my mind.
There's a couple guys that play football that can do that. They can get their knees out of the ground and then their helmets would touch the ground too. Hey, Josh, quick.
right over here.
We actually have a overhead squat workout coming up this week. Hey, sister.
That one. Go.
All right, slowly come out of that. Next thing we're going to do is a pigeon stretch. Looks like this. You're going to get your leg out in front of you, lay it down, then extend your opposite leg behind you. You can also hold your foot if it starts sliding. You can just hold it here. If you can kind of lean forward, that works too. If this is too aggressive of a stretch, what you can do is go into a 90-90, and then you're gonna twist and hang up there. You can hold this for 1 minute on each side. All right, and switch sides. Alright, next we're going to go into a groiner stretch. This is like the Spider-Man lunge position. You're going to bring your leg out at a 90-degree angle. You're going to have your arm parallel to that leg. And then you're going to extend your opposite leg out. You can have it touching the ground. If you do, press into the ground and that kind of stretches out both sides of your groin, but I like to keep myself up. We're going to hold that for a minute on both sides. You can kind of rock around in this position too. All right, switch sides.
He was right behind me. I think I just scared him.
He's pouting now.
This is crazy. Wait. Yeah.
All right, next we're going to go into the 90-degree wall hold. You can do this with a box, you can do it with a wall, or you can do it just kind of with yourself. We're gonna do, I want to use the box, but I don't want to mess with the thing.
We did it.
Thank you. All right, so what you're gonna do, you're going to lay on the floor. This is kind of the same thing, well, not really, but you're gonna lay on the floor. You're gonna put your foot against the box. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna like lift this leg over. So your ankle is now on your leg that's touching the wall. What you're gonna do is you're going to drive your hips into the ground and have your core in that kind of hollow body position. You don't want to arch in your back, you want to be flat. Again, really drive your hips into the ground. That's what helps this stretch. You can also kind of push your knee back, but you're gonna sit here for a minute to 2 minutes. I'm gonna sit here for a minute and then do the same on the other side. Again, drive your hips into the ground and keep your back flat.
increase the social distancing till April 30th. I really like to use my yoga mat.
All right, then switch to the other side.
Sit.
You're so loud. Both these dogs. No.
All right. Next, we're going to go into the last part of this, which is our quads.
Good luck.
So the first thing we're going to go into is a kneeling hold. We're going to do it for 1 to 2 minutes. I'm going to do it for 2 minutes. What that looks like is you're going to kneel, then you're going to sit on your heels. You're going to lean back, and you want to squeeze your quads, squeeze your glutes, and you're going to hold this for 1 to 2 minutes, but I'm doing it for 2.
Let's see it.
What?
Let's see it.
Oh, I can do this.
Sit.
What?
You gotta lay down.
That way.
That way.
You can lay down, it's fine.
Hey.
It's all over the place today.
Oh.
Real funny.
No.
Again, make sure you're squeezing your glutes.
Bring my ankle more than anything.
You have bad ankles.
My left one. I sprained it pretty bad.
Recently?
No, I'll show you. I was trying to break a tackle and he grabbed my ankle and like when he pulled it, like twisted it this way and I felt progress.
Well, we probably just growls for no reason. He just walks around growling.
All day, every day.
Alright. Come out of that. Next, we're going to go into an IT band roll. If you have a foam roller, Max, I think, said you can use like a can of beans. Just don't use like a glass jar, obviously, in case that breaks. So for this, you're going to get on your side. You're going to extend your leg, put the foam roller over it, have this leg kind of at a 90-degree angle, and then you're just going to roll out that IT band. I'm going to do this for a minute. I'm going to do it on both sides. You can kind of go on your quad too. Your computer says something. It's an update thing, I think.
insertion into my knee is where it hurts the worst.
All right. Same thing on the other side. I was debating on doing these with the barbell, and I was like,
Is your mom take all the doors and stuff off?
Nope.
No?
She doesn't want to, she literally won't take that thing anywhere. She's like, I don't want to scratch on it. She's a mole crawler. The only thing that's ever come off of that are the top, the 3-piece top.
Wait.
How hard is it to take the doors off?
Not hard at all. You just have to take out the bolt that runs through it. They're just kind of heavy, and like if you don't have a good place to store them,
Yeah.
there's really no point. It's kind of like a hard top. Like if you take that off, you need to have a place to put it, because if you put it on the ground, it's just gonna get scratched up.
Yeah.
They have like mounts and like an actual thing that like will lift it off, but they're expensive. All right. Then you're going to go into a quad rollout. So you're going to just roll out your quads. You can do this for 1 minute to 2 minutes. I'm going to do it for 1.5 minutes and 2, depending on how I feel. You can do both at the same time. Literally just roll them out.
Okay.
You're okay. Just lay down. Lay down. Sit.
Right here. Right here. Wait. Come over here. Go over here. Oh.
And then for our last thing that we're going to do a quad stretch. So for that, you're going to lay on the ground, hands on your side, put both legs out, and you're going to grab your top leg. Grab your foot like this, and just pull it, your heel into your butt. Then you're going to extend up. You should feel this all through your leg. You're going to hold this for 1 minute to 2 minutes. I'm going to hold it for 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes.
If they can't grab their leg, then they can use like a towel or.
Oh yeah, yeah. You could, or even like the belt or
Yeah, the
the dog leash. Just slip it around your foot and pull it. used to ride scooters so much as a kid. And the worst part was when you like smack it on your ankle.
Yeah.
It hurt so bad. Alright, now I'm going to switch. Alright. And that is it.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'll just bring it around.
Yeah.